Hi, I'm Jim DiCrescenzo. Today we're going to talk about how to be the leader in an Exhibeo deposition. So you arrive at the deposition suite and the iPad is in front of you and the Exhibeo system is set up. Simply touch the leader icon, enter your name, and press OK. Then enter the common password and you'll have access to the documents that are on the USB drive. Now, as the leader, you're the only person who has access to these documents. So you can select all of the documents or individual documents to download by simply touching the circle on the right side and touching download. These documents now go into your downloaded files tab. No one else sees these documents until you decide to select those documents again on the right side and touching share. That distributes the documents to everybody. You also have the option to send these documents to only the court reporter and have the court reporter mark them and send them back to only you, and then at some point when you feel appropriate you could distribute the marked exhibits. Or you can send the documents to everyone and have the court reporter mark them whenever you choose. So for any documents, you simply touch anywhere on the line and it opens up the document. In another one of these videos, I go into depth about how to edit the documents. Any leader or guest has the option to go into the Downloaded Files tab, swipe left on a line, and delete that file. However, only the court reporter can delete marked exhibits by swiping left on the marked exhibit line and deleting that marked exhibit. The leader or any guest can choose to share their screen. So, for instance, if you have a witness who is concerned about touching the iPad, any guest can open a document and touch share my screen in the upper left, and activate mirroring will appear on everyone else's iPad. If they activate the mirroring, they will see exactly what you're sharing with them. You can swipe to the left to move to different pages. You can activate some editing features and actually write on the document, and that writing will appear simultaneously on everyone else's iPad. If you want to save that document that's being mirrored and edited, simply touch Save and give it a new name and save again, and it'll go into your My Files tab. So once you've downloaded the documents that you want, simply select any or all of those documents and you can share it just to the reporter. In other words, send those documents only to the court reporter, and you could have the court reporter mark the documents and return them back to only you so that you can distribute them at your pace. Or you can share those documents with everyone at the same time and still have the court reporter mark them whenever you want them marked. And when the court reporter shares them, the court reporter has the option to share them to everybody or just to you at your direction. So any document that you open and create any edits in, you will want to save that document by touching the word Save in the upper right. You must enter a different name other than the name that the document was originally given, because the system can't have the same name twice. The document goes into the My Files tab. Everyone has these tabs. In the My Files tab is where your edited documents reside. These again are private. No one else has access to them unless you select that document and touch Share, and that distributes the document to everyone else. At the end of the deposition, you also have the option to save all of your My Files documents to the USB. Again, by being in the My Files tab, selecting those documents and hitting Save to USB, it will save the documents onto the USB. Critically important, before you remove the USB, you must touch Safely Remove Drive in the upper right, and that will write all of the documents correctly onto the USB drive, and Exhibeo will tell you when it's safe to remove the drive. At the beginning of a deposition, as the guests log in, they will enter their name and you will see a number 1, 2, 3 appear in the authentication requests for however many guests there are. The only person who's not a guest is the court reporter. Once you receive these authentication requests, you must select each person's name and admit them into the session. You now have a closed network of just the folks in that Exhibeo deposition. If you reach the end of the deposition and it's time for someone else to do questioning, simply touch Authorized Attendees and select the name of the person that you want to pass the role of leader to. And Exhibeo will ask you if you want to continue. You'll say yes, assuming you do. The next prompt will be same USB or change USB. In some cases, counsel decide to all use the same documents, let's say a large construction case. In that instance, you'd leave the same USB in. But in other cases, everyone has their own documents, so you'd want to switch USBs. Once you touch switch USB, you must remove your USB from the router, and the other attorney must put his or her USB drive in. And they now log in with the common password, and they now have access to all of the documents on their USB drive. And they now have active router, authentication requests, and authorized attendee tabs, and yours become inactive. They are now the leader, you are now a guest. And you could pass the leadership role among counsel as many times as you want. At the end of the deposition, if you want to, if you plan to come back tomorrow and continue your deposition, in the upper right corner, the on-off button, simply touch Save for Next Session and log out. That preserves all of the documents on your iPad. When you log in the next day with the same password, all of your documents will still be there, and you'll continue to conduct your deposition. However, if you're completely finished and you've saved what you wanted to save, simply touch I've saved what I need, log out now. And that will wipe all of the documents from the iPad, and the iPad is clean to go on to another deposition.